putting it back in your court and what can I do to resolve the situation and not make it mean other things. It sounds like that's got to be part of what you mean by the locus mindset. What are some other characteristics of what it means to have a locus mindset?
Sure. So I think it's the self-awareness of how the brain works, how the mind works. And that's why we talk about that in the first lesson or two of the Thrive course. And the reason I call it Thrive, and it's Locus Thrive, but it's an acronym for the system. I just try to make it very simple. Here's 6 steps. Do them every night, like that way you'll get change. And people find that refreshing because they're like, just give me the solution. I don't know how you are, John, but there's this kind of stereotype out there. They say, well, women just want to vent and talk about a problem, but men want it solved. And there's a kernel of truth that I want a solution. Like if I share a problem with somebody, I just want them to solve it. That's the whole reason I'm taking the time to share it, right? I don't want them to say, oh, thank you for sharing. It's so valid. I mean, just fix it, right? So that's what Thrive does. But what I would say is a couple things. One is being aware that you are more than your memories, than your emotions, than your previous behavior, and be willing to disconnect your identity from your behavior. A lot of times what holds people back from really delving into the locus mindset is they say, wait a second, you're telling me I have to change aspects of my personality. And you know what? That's me. I'm going to do me. Well, Dr. Hardy wrote, personality isn't permanent. And he talks about not even our personality. Like our personality doesn't drive our behavior. Experiences that happen shape our personality. So if you can be open to the fact that your identity is deeper and more important than any behavior, speech pattern, personality tests, he doesn't like those, then you can free yourself of the fear that if you make change, you're going to lose yourself because you're not. You are more than all those. And that was a big realization for me because I had a lot of people in my life that say, oh, you're just great the way you are. Suzy, we just love this about you. That's just you. Don't change. And you go, oh, wow, I'm loved for that. I can't change. And what does that do? When certain aspects don't work, because I'm not saying everything about everybody is bad, not at all. But when certain things don't work, it causes you to almost identify with them. And what you identify with controls you. What you disidentify with, you gain control of. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing I think is the awareness that you have to begin to almost imagine you have a Polaroid camera. And as you go through life, you're taking a snapshot of what's going well and where do I see patterns repeat of pain. And we usually know this. I mean, if you ask people what isn't going well in life, it comes up.
Sure.
Okay. And say, that's okay. That's good. Now we have things we know we can focus on and help with. We actually have a directional coordinate here, right? And say, well, what appears to be happening? I don't ask why questions, because if you ask why, your rational brain will give you a reason. Well, it's because of that. Just say, what has happened and what might have happened in my past that allows me to see the world this way? And what happens right before I have this reaction? Like we're really trying to investigate this. And then what do I want instead? Well, I want to be calm. I want to be resilient. Okay, great. Because your brain will always sort 2/3 negative to 1/3 positive. That's survival. Neuroscientists will tell you that's built for survival. So it's not enough to just go in and say, I want to get rid of this and this and this. Great. What do you want to put in instead? Well, I want this gone. Yeah, but if you remove it and you don't put something else in, what's going to fill it up? The same type of worry and anxiety, right? That's why you can be going along, I'll be running along and everything's going great. And all of a sudden, oh, I wonder if this could happen. It's your brain's way of saying, oh, we better audit for risk. So we have to take a bigger control of that. And then working with the Thrive course. I mean, this is not a system you need to, I tell people, obviously, this isn't like counseling. This isn't psychology. I can't make any guarantees or claims. I'm not licensed in that. But what these are is there's 6 pieces of research-based mind development work of how to go in and make change. And all of them have research and science behind them so that you can develop a system. It's a framework, a synthesis that works. And then you start to see change and you're like, wow, this is really possible. I didn't realize it.
Wow, that's awesome and so comprehensive. And it sounds like you have a real focus on application, not just theory. Here's where it came from. Here's how we know it works. And here's how you use it so you can get results right away.